Hi, this is Munson from Munson Music, and we're talking about how you could play a song called Replay by Zendaya. And we're going to end up capoing this on the 2nd fret, but it starts out with this really cool keyboard riff, actually, where you could kind of play the open G, and then we go to the open B 3 times, and the 2nd fret on the G string twice, or 3 times, and then we kind of repeat that. So we're kind of playing G, B, 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 A, G, B, 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 A, G. And if you're a little bit more adventurous, you can throw in some bass notes for the chords that are kind of getting implied there. You can play an open E or an open G string, or open G with the 3rd fret on the A string. And we can kind of start with that for kind of the C hit or the G hit. And then from there, we're going to go to the open E with the open B string. And then that way you can kind of get the open E to kind of back up that open B. And then you could go to open D for that 2nd fret on the G string and kind of end up with kind of like a cool little 2-part to open it up. You have 3 and open, opens together, 2, open 2, 3 and open, O, 2, 2, 2, 3 and open. So kind of playing around with that might be kind of a cool thing. Now the chord that would back up that G note is actually a C major chord. When we play C, first finger is going to go to the B string on the 1st fret, 2nd finger on the D string on the 2nd fret, and the 3rd finger on the A string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum just the A string to the high E string, then now get your clear sound out, and that's called C major. And then for the open B note, we're going to go to an E minor chord. When we play E minor, first finger is going to go to the A string on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger stays on the D string on the 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds like E minor chord, and it sounds really sad. And then from the E minor, we're going to be backing up that 2nd fret on the G string, that A note, with a D chord. And when we play D, you got 1st finger on the G string on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the high E string on the 2nd fret, and 3rd finger on the B string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum just the D, G, B, and E, then that sounds a D major chord. And what you may even want to think about doing is kind of doing a C chord with kind of a big down, and then going to E minor 3 times, D 3 times, C with a down, kill it, E minor 1, 2, 3, D 1, 2, 3, C with a down, kill it. So I'm just throwing my hand down to kind of kill the strings. So you may want to kind of think about using the chords that way. Now a lot of times to support my voice though, I like using some things called strum patterns. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So if you take the C and just try that a lot, you'd have down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. That to kind of our progression. The weird part is the E minor and the D don't last as long. So one way to kind of work that is to do just a down, down, up on the E minor, down, down, up on the D, and then we can kind of fill in the C time. So we tried it that way. We'd have C with a down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, D, down, down, C, down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, D, down, down, up. Now another way to kind of half that E minor D is to do a down, down, up on the E minor, and then go to the D for the up, down. Try it that way, you'd have C with a down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, up, D, up, down, C, down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, up, D, up, down, up. And then we're basically just going to be repeating that progression until we get to our bridge part. And our bridge starts on a C major. And on the bridge part, you may want to think about doing downs. Actually, we'll talk about some other strum patterns to kind of fill that in too. And then from the C, we go to a G major chord. When we play G major, 1st finger goes to the A string on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger goes to the low E string on the 3rd fret, and the 3rd finger goes to the high E on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really happy. And then from the G, we go back to the C, and then we're waiting. And then we go to a big G, and then we're waiting. And then we come back in kind of on our verse at the very end. Now on the bridge though, you could fill it in with down, down, up, down, up. And then depending on how you're feeling it, you'll have C with down, down, up, down, C, down, down, up, down, G, down, down, up, down, G, down, down, up, down, C, down, down, up, down, C, down, down, up, down, G, down, down, up, down, G, down, down, up, down, up. So those are all the pieces to our song. Now the weird part is instead of starting on a C major chord, Zendaya is actually starting on a D major chord. So what you want to do is take a capo, and you can put the capo on 2nd fret, but now your C major is really a D major chord, your E minor is really an F sharp minor, and your D major is really an E major chord, and when we get to it, the G major is really an A major chord. But you can still kind of open it up with kind of that 2-part, or even just the main riff actually is kind of an idea to kind of kick it off. So that might be kind of a cool way, because if somebody kind of knows the song, they go, oh my gosh, replay, I love that song. So you may want to think about kind of using those licks to kind of intro it. Or you could just strum through that. Then you'd have C with the down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, D, down, down, C, down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, D, down, down, C, down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, D, down, down, C, down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, D, down, down, up. Or you may want to just kind of try to follow those hits like we were talking about. You know, different ways to do it can be cool, because then you can kind of mix them up and kind of figure out how you want to cover it. So that might be kind of a cool way to kick it off too. Or sometimes what I like to do too with a song is add bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down, the down, down, up, down, up, you could throw in a bass for the chord. So on the C chord, you'd have the A for the bass. You'd have an A bass, down, up, down, C with an A bass, down, up, down. On the E minor, you'd have the low E string for your bass. Low E bass, down, up, down. And on the D chord, you have the D string for your bass. So you the D bass, down, up, down, up. And then when we get to the G chord, we'd have the low E string for the bass. So one way to kind of apply that actually is just add basses to what we were just doing. So when we get to the E minor, we'd have kind of a bass down, a D with a bass down, up. So we tried it that way. We'd have C with a bass, down, up, down, E minor, low E bass, down, D with the D bass, down, C with an A bass, down, up, down, E minor, low E bass, down, D with the D bass, down, C with an A bass, down, up, down, E minor, low E bass, down, D with the D bass, down, C with an A bass, down, up, down, E minor, low E bass, down, D with the D bass, down, up. Or if you're kind of digging on kind of splitting the chords, kind of doing the E minor, the down, down, up, D on the up, down, you could actually kind of keep that feel with the basses too. And then you have C with an A bass, down, up, down, E minor, low E bass, down, up, D, up, down, C with an A bass, down, up, down, E minor, low E bass, down, up, D, up, down, C with an A bass, down, up, down, E minor, low E bass, down, up, D, up, down, C with an A bass, down, down, E minor, low E bass, down, up, D, up, down, up. So that would be another way you could kind of work it. Now another strum pattern that I would think about using is actually working off of something called a 16th note strum pattern. And what I mean by that is if you're tapping your foot to the beat, right now we're kind of dividing that beat into two parts. 1, 2, 1, 2, and that's called an 8th note. What a 16th note is where you divide that foot tap into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of my favorite 16th note strum patterns to work with, and I really dig this feel for the bridge, is a long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down. And what I mean by that is if you do the C for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down. That's what you're doing on the first beat. Then on the second beat, you're doing a down on 1, and then a down on 3, up on 4. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. And then on the third beat, you're doing an up on 2, down on 3. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, up, down, 1, up, down, 1, up, down. And then on the last beat, you're going down, up, right along with the 1, 2, 3, 4. So you got down, up, 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 down, up. So all together, you got long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And one way to apply that kind of to our verse chorus is to do the C with kind of a down, and then a down, down, up, and then kind of half it to an E minor with a down, down, up, and then a D major with a down, down, up. Weird because I'm taking pieces of it actually. That whole pattern we'll use for the bridge. But if we tried it that way, we'd have C with a down, 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 E minor, down, down, D, down, down, C, down, 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 E minor, down, down, D, down, down, C, down, 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 E minor, down, down, D, down, down, C, down, 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 E minor, down, down, D, down, down, and you could add the basses back in, and then you have C with an A bass, down, down, E minor, low E bass, down, D with an E bass, down, C with an A bass, down, down, E minor, low E bass, down, D with an E bass, down, C with an A bass, down, down, E minor, low E bass, down, D with an E bass, down, C with an A bass, down, down, E minor, low E bass, down, D with an E bass, down. So that might be another thing you want to kind of play around with. And then we basically be repeating everything. And actually, there are a couple places actually where there are hits too, where the C down kill it actually just kind of rides out. So you may want to watch out for those. But then from there, we'd be going into our bridge part. And we could do just the down, down, up, down, and we have C with the down, down, up, down, C, 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 down, down, up, down, or we could add basses to that and have C with an A bass, down, up, down, C with an A bass, down, down, C with low E bass, down, down, C with low E bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, about before, just kind of let that kind of ride out. Or you can do it with your 16th note feel, and actually then you can kind of feel it as kind of CG to CG. So we tried it that way. We'd have C down, 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 up, down, 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 C down, 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 up, down, 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 C down, down, up, down, 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 C down, down. Or we could add basses to that. Sometimes I like adding in extra basses. So think bass, bass, down, down, up, bass, down, up, down, bass, bass, down, down, up, bass, down, up, down, C. So you may want to think about using that for your bridge, and then from there, then we'd be going back into kind of our verse of. So we've got that C minor, D, C, minor, D, C, E minor, D. But that's the basics of how you could strum through Replay by Zendaya. So good luck!